everything you are today. Your fears, that skill that suddenly emerged, hey, even that love that arrived without warning, is not a coincidence. Every detail of your life is part of a story much older than you. I'm not talking about destiny. I'm talking about reincarnation. You may carry secrets from other lives in your soul, and today we're going to uncover 9 signs that prove it. Reincarnation is an ancient concept, very ancient, older than the great civilizations we study in school. In simple terms, it suggests that our journey doesn't begin when we are born, nor does it end when we pass. Life is therefore a continuous sequence of experiences, learning, and transformations. Think of those people who seem to have deep wisdom from a young age, while others struggle to understand even the most basic lessons of life. Or think of those children who show astonishing talents without ever having studied. These are questions that lead many to consider that existence is not as simple as it seems. But if that's the case, why don't we remember our past lives? Many spiritual traditions explain that the veil of forgetfulness is necessary. It allows us to start over without the emotional baggage of the past. Still, some clues escape. And from here comes the practical part. How do you know if you've lived other lives? How do you identify the signs your spirit has been trying to show? Body. Sign 1. Intense and frequent déjà vu. You've experienced this. You're in a completely new place. No memories, no rational reason to feel connected. But suddenly it's as if time has turned back. The smell of the air, the background sounds, the way the light hits, everything feels eerily familiar. That's déjà vu. And it's not just a trick of the mind. For a long time, science tried to explain déjà vu as a momentary glitch in the brain, a processing error. But those who have gone through truly intense experiences know it's not just mental confusion. It's something deeper, something that touches the soul directly. For many scholars and spiritual traditions, déjà vu is a breach between the present and the past. It's as if for a brief moment, a memory from another life emerges, breaking through the layers of forgetfulness that usually separate us from who we once were. Think about it. Why would your heart race in front of a street you've never seen? Why would you feel like you've already participated in a conversation that's supposedly happening for the first time? These moments are not random. They are flashes, marks we carry from other existences. And here's something important. The more frequent and intense the déjà vu, the greater the chance it has roots in past lives. Sign 2. Instant connections. Some people enter our lives slowly. They take time to form bonds and need time for the relationship to mature. But others seem to already be there when they arrive. It's immediate, deep, and inexplicable. The connection happens at the first glance, the first gesture. No effort is needed. You feel like you know that person, as if they were part of a story that didn't start now. This is a reunion of souls. These instant connections are common for those who have traveled many journeys. People and places become imprinted on our essence. When we meet them again, even in totally different contexts, the recognition is immediate. The exchange is so natural, so familiar, that it's impossible not to notice. The laughter, the looks, the way they understand each other without long explanations. It was as if they were simply picking up something that had existed for a long time. This type of connection is different. It goes beyond affinity or the famous instant chemistry. When we go through multiple existences, we create deep bonds with other souls. They are friends, loves, partners on the journey who from time to time find each other again. Sign 3. Wisdom and talent without explanation. Some people seem to carry something extra. From an early age, they show surprising abilities without much study or practice. It comes naturally, as if they brought something ready from somewhere else. Anyone who has seen a child pick up an instrument and play as if they had done it for years knows what I mean. Or that ease in learning languages, leading people, or understanding complex subjects as if they have always been part of them. That's not luck, nor a mere gift. It's accumulated experience. When we pass through many lives, we bring with us fragments of what we've already learned. That's why sometimes we start something from scratch, yet it feels like it's already within us. In many cases, what we call innate talents are nothing more than deep memories of skills we developed in other journeys. In past lives, maybe this person was an artist, spending years and years practicing. Today the body is different, but the soul remembers. And this isn't limited to arts or technical abilities. Sometimes it's wisdom about life. It's that child who gives advice you would expect from someone with decades of experience. These are clear signs, wisdom that arrives without warning, talents that emerge without explanation. Sign 4. Spontaneous memories or vivid dreams. Some memories appear out of nowhere. They don't make sense, have no clear origin in this life, and yet carry a strange force. In certain cases, they are dreams so real that they leave a lasting impression upon waking, as if they really happened. You see yourself in places you've never visited, wearing clothes from distant eras, dealing with situations that aren't part of your current story. And even without explanation, everything feels incredibly familiar. This is more common than it seems. When the mind relaxes and defenses lower, as happens during sleep, past life memories can emerge. They come as flashes, complete stories, or sensations that transcend logic. This goes beyond a creative dream. It is a memory of the soul trying to reach the surface. And it doesn't just happen while sleeping. In moments of deep relaxation, or even during everyday conversations, certain images may suddenly appear in the mind for no apparent reason. Suddenly, the scene becomes clear. You don't know where it came from, but you know it's not just imagination. This is the soul manifesting itself. They are records that escape from the unconscious and reveal themselves when we are ready to receive them. Sign 5. Fears or phobias without logical explanation. Some fears arise without a clear reason. They weren't learned, didn't come from traumas in this life, and yet they are there. They manifest intensely, sometimes since childhood, and defy any rational explanation. Fear of water without ever having drowned, panic of heights without ever falling from a high place, claustrophobia without having been confined. These are automatic reactions that can't be explained just by what has happened so far. When this happens, the answer may lie in past life experiences. When something was traumatic enough, it tends to leave deep marks that transcend time. These marks manifest as blockages, fears, and phobias. It's not conscious, it's instinctive. The body reacts before the mind even understands. It is the soul protecting itself from reliving old pains. These signs are clues that point to unresolved issues that need to be faced. Fear loses strength when illuminated by awareness. It ceases to be an inexplicable obstacle and becomes an opportunity for healing and liberation. Sign 6. Fascination with different eras and cultures. Some people feel an inexplicable attraction to certain historical periods or specific civilizations. It's not simple curiosity or a fleeting interest. It's a deep, almost visceral fascination, something that stirs strong emotions, like longing for a time when technically they never lived. This type of connection with a specific time or culture is one of the clearest signs of a possible experience in another life. The soul recognizes what it has already experienced, and even if the mind does not consciously remember, something lights up inside. When this interest appears intensely, persistently, and with deep feelings, it usually points to unconscious memories of a past existence. The language, the clothing, the rituals, the architecture, the symbols, everything awakens a sense of belonging that can't be explained only by external influence or education. Sometimes this fascination also manifests through works of fiction, old films that evoke other eras, stories set in medieval worlds, or narratives about journeys and kingdoms. It feels like you are part of that universe. It's seeing those imaginary lands and feeling you've walked through similar places before. Sign 7, feeling like an old soul. Some people seem to carry the weight of many experiences, even when they are still young. From an early age, they show maturity in their words, in the way they deal with challenges, and in the deep gaze that seems to see beyond the obvious. While many get lost in distractions and superficialities, these people observe, reflect, and often prefer silence to meaningless conversation. It's as if they already intuitively know that life is made of cycles, ups and downs, meetings and farewells. This feeling of being different, of thinking more deeply, and not fitting entirely into the usual concerns of those around them, is a clear sign that the soul has already traveled long paths. The expression "old soul" is no coincidence. It represents exactly that. Someone who has lived much, accumulated lessons, and now carries that invisible baggage. It's not about being better or smarter. It's about having gone through enough experiences to see life through different eyes. Sign 8, recurring lessons in life patterns. Some situations repeat themselves at different stages of life, as if they were chapters of the same story being told with new characters, but with the same underlying lesson. Relationships that follow the same pattern. Emotional challenges that return in different forms. Mistakes that repeat even when the intention was to act differently. It's as if something is trying to show you a truth that has not yet been understood. These cycles are not bad luck, punishment, or coincidence. They are lessons the soul still needs to fully assimilate. When the experience is not integrated, it repeats. And sometimes these repetitions didn't start in this life. They come from far away. They are unfinished stories, unresolved emotions, unfulfilled promises. The soul, in its quest for balance and evolution, attracts circumstances that help close what has been left open. That's why when you look at these patterns honestly, you realize they carry a message. Something is being proposed there, something that requires courage to face and awareness to transform. Sign 9, the search for something greater. Even with everything already lived in this life, some carry a certain restlessness. It's as if deep down, something is always missing. No matter how much they achieve or how many experiences they accumulate, this feeling persists. It's as if part of them knows there's something greater waiting to be found. This constant sense of seeking without knowing exactly what it is often a direct reflection of spiritual memory. Souls that have crossed many lives carry with them the echo of what they have lived and what they still wish to accomplish. They know, even if unconsciously, that there is continuity. That's why nothing feels completely new or sufficient. There's a hunger for meaning, for answers that go beyond the visible and the material. It is the soul's impulse towards fulfillment. Someone who feels this way usually does not settle for shallow explanations or empty routines. They seek meaning in everything, in relationships, in choices, in the purpose of being here. Often this search manifests as interest in spirituality, philosophy, or inner journeys. When this feeling is persistent, it becomes a powerful sign. It says that the soul is ready to retrieve memories, integrate lessons, and move to a new level of consciousness. Looking at all these signs is not about being stuck in the past. It's about illuminating the present. It's about recognizing that life is a continuity and that every experience carries the echo of ancient journeys. Knowing that you have lived other lives is not fantasy. It is awareness. It is part of your awakening. When you understand this, everything changes. Patterns stop being prisons. Pain gains meaning. And encounters are seen as reunions. The soul wants to evolve. It wants to remember. And the invitation now is for you to take the next step. Which of these signs has appeared in your life? What story is your soul trying to tell? Your experience might be exactly what another soul needs to hear to recognize itself as well. If you're ready to explore the deeper mysteries of consciousness and uncover the ancient wisdom your soul carries, subscribe for more insights that reveal the hidden connections between your past, present, and future. Remember, you are not just living one life. You are continuing a story that began long before you were born and will continue long after you leave. The question is, will you remember who you've always been?